What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So there's this fun claim out there that Rocksteady did not want to make Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. There's just no way Rocksteady would have wanted to make a game like this. That this is the work of Warner Brothers and so on and so forth. Now, this is an interesting claim because very soon here in this video, I'm going to play a clip that actually shows Sefton Hill saying that he was proud and excited to present the game. He talked about why they chose the Suicide Squad and a few pertinent aspects. This may change your perception. Now, I brought the clips of this video in my last video, and some people are like, man, you know, we can't really take these videos at face value. They're trying to sell a game, so it's not necessarily going to be easy to just believe, you know, everything that's being said here. However, even though it's going to be hard to believe it, it is exactly what has been said, but we must also look at it in the context of when it was also released, because just a few years after, Sefton Hill left the studio. So let's go ahead and let's watch this video clip. The only place you can see it is on the Batman Arkham channel, because apparently the whole DC fandom event thing is already kind of taken down and gone, and we're going to assess what is said here. So let's play this.
I mean, it beats the subway, but... Whew. Oh, hey, you must be Sefton.
I am indeed. Hi, Will.
Hey, man, Sefton Hill from Rocksteady Studios, y'all.
This was such a
Sefton,
cringe
how'd you
reveal,
get
guys.
here? Did DC also teleport you into the cyberspace realm?
No, they just sent me this green screen for my house.
Is it? You got a green screen? Good, that's neat. Lucky
Oh.
film, which really hurts, but good, green screen. You're lucky. Cool, good for you. Okay, well, I guess, look, the cat is finally out of the bag here. This is Rocksteady's new game, and there is a lot of anticipation behind it, right? And the Arkham games are extremely popular, and buzz has been building behind this new game. So, what can you tell us?
Well, I'm really excited and proud to be able to reveal Rocksteady's Suicide Squad. You know, it's a unique new franchise for gaming, and we've been able to put our own spin on it and create something really special that I think gamers are going to love and enjoy. Obviously.
So even the gameplay clips that are playing at the time in that DC fandom event are basically the same gameplay clips from the preview that we have. And the art style is not far off. The presentation, the character models, even though these were done for cinematics, they are not far off from playing the game on a high-end gaming PC. I played the alpha, and it is very similar to what it is that you saw. Take away a lot of the different, you know, pickups and all of that stuff. It is literally the game that they had at the time that they were presenting around this DC fandom event. Because you also remember they showed a gameplay teaser just about a year later or so, which is very similar to what it is that we have right now. Yes, it looks like it was rendered in higher graphics and whatnot, but it's the same gameplay.
It's brought to you by the team that created Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. And
The team that created Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight.
In fact, this is a continuation of the Arkham-verse, so a lot of the through threads and the storylines you're going to see come to fruition in this game.
So basically, they were weaving their storylines in here.
Able to combine all of that core DNA with some really great, unique innovations and create what we think is going to be a totally original gameplay experience.
Okay, well, that's awesome. But let me just ask you this. Why this game? Why Suicide Squad?
Well, when we're starting any game, Rocksteady games are all about a character-driven game. You know, it's all about that kind of heart and soul of the characters that we want to bring to life. So we worked with DC. We looked at, you know, all the different properties, all the different great characters that they have.
So they basically were scrolling through the album. They were flipping pages. Who is this? Nah, not this guy. Green Lantern game? No. How about a Superman game? No, let's not do Superman. Oh my gosh, leave it alone. Okay, sorry guys. How about a Wonder Woman game? No, Monolith already pitched one. They're probably already working on it. Dang it. Suicide Squad. Oh, Suicide Squad. Well, didn't Warner Brothers Montreal try to make a Suicide Squad game? It got canceled. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
And Suicide Squad really spoke to us because of how fascinating these flawed characters are and the fact that it's fusing all of these characters together. When you're creating a game, you're creating a universe and you want to build it with real heart and soul inside it. And that's what
I've heard somebody say that they saw Suicide Squad and just thought the game was soulless. I think you're being, I think it's your opinion, but you have to remember game development is very hard. And for somebody like Sefton Hill, I think he would have been able to at least take on some measure of the creativity, but also try to meet the executive demands or the company demands. So maybe this is not the exact way. The best you can say here for those who make this argument is maybe this is not the exact way they wanted to make a Suicide Squad game. Does that make sense? Maybe it was going to be a thing like the way you see the Arkham games, but instead Harley Quinn and Deadshot and King Shark and Captain Boomerang were melee characters. But by the time this was already a thing, this gameplay experience of being a shooter was pretty much what was already at hand. But let's keep going.
really inspired us to make the Suicide Squad game because, DC have these fantastic roster of villains and being
Stop saying it, man. DC had this fantastic hero villains. How about a Catwoman game? How about a Black Canary game? This is why I think Injustice is still the OG, bro. Like, Injustice threw everybody into their game, and they couldn't even care at all.
Able to actually play these villains and see the interaction and life between them is something that got us really energized and excited.
I guess for me, my biggest question, and really probably everybody's biggest question that they want to know is, and no offense, but what is wrong with you, man? Why are you making a game about a group of bad guys taking on some of the most beloved heroes of all time?
Well, I think for us, we always want to put our characters in interesting and exciting and dynamic situations, and it felt like the Suicide Squad naturally really lends itself to that. Even just starting with their boss, Amanda Waller, she's part protagonist, but also...
Let's do something. Let's read the older comments, and let's see what's going on. Big fan of Suicide Squad stories. Very excited for this. If the combat is anything like Arkham and the character center stories, if they'll be written as good as Arkham, I'll have it. Nope. It's just going to be a shooter. I'm really hoping that we'll get some creative boss fights in the Justice League. Imagine a Batman boss fight, which has both stealth elements. I'm imagining something like the Kraven boss from the Spider-Man 2 games, and a satisfying melee combat. Nope. Well, for one, I'm super excited. If we just get more of what we love from the Arkham games, plus awesome gunplay, different game. Some melee is here, but not like the melee like the Arkham games. Sefton Hill is a genius. Arkham Knight is literally the best game I've ever played. Every gameplay element from previous Arkham games elevated to perfection and then some. Arkham Knight's combat is an industry-class melee-based combat system with a lot of permutations and combinations. I challenge anyone to complete the game by spamming a triangle. It's impossible. Do you know why? Because they're different enemy types. Gotham Knights is more complex than Arkham Knight. And I have 300 hours in Arkham Knight, 400 hours in Gotham Knights. I can tell you that for sure. I know people come here and start talking, but if you're going to talk about that Gotham Knights reference, make sure you have gameplay to that effect. I got hundreds of hours, well, hundreds, maybe scores of hours of gameplay. I guess that's the best I can put it. Recorded and on YouTube here. Looks like Sunset Overdrive was with DC characters. Somebody was dialed in years ago. I think this will be very cool, even if I prefer fully immersed single player. The only thing I'm disappointed is the fact that we'll probably only have these 4 playable characters while the squad is a lot bigger. Seemingly, we're going to have more. I really do hope Sefton Hill is doing okay. He looks very different compared from 5-something years ago. He looks healthier. I probably think he's eating more plant-based diet. Not an advocate for veganism. Everyone looks off vitamin E. This was like 2020, I guess. The panel was awesome. I really hope this is an option you can play co-op and campaign. Now, this along with Arkham Asylum, Suicide Squad free flow combat. There's no free flow in this game. 4 playable characters. I think a lot of people were misconstrued as to this game going to have free flow, just like the Arkham games. The free flow is a very strong element, and so I think that's another reason many people could not just take Gotham Knights also for what it was, because they were thinking, oh, well, why does this game not have free flow? But not every game should have free flow. I think every game that's bringing its combat system should be able to bring something unique. Once you master the RPG nature, the special abilities, momentum abilities anyways, and the time strikes with Gotham Knights, man, the game unlocks itself in a whole different way, man. It's insane how they want you to actually be skillful to play a game like that. And Suicide Squad is really going to, like, you know, bring something, according to Sefton Hill, that is different from everything that they've done in the past. So again, for people that kept saying they don't think this is the game they wanted to make, I don't know how you came up with that conclusion. I mean, even if I thought this at one point, you know, I'm not really certain that we could actually go with this particular paradigm at this point. Seeing that his words and the way he actually is talking about the way they chose the Suicide Squad characters and so on and so forth was something that they seemingly wanted to do. Let's finish the whole thing here.
So part antagonist, you know, she's stuck these nanite bombs in their heads and she's forcing them to do this impossible mission, this mission to take on and kill the Justice League. And I think that's where you always find, I think, the magic is when you can put characters in these situations that are absolutely impossible. And then to a certain extent, these things kind of write themselves, because once you've got that premise, you just let that live and breathe and you think, right, well, how the hell can the Suicide Squad kill the Justice League? How can that even happen? And really, that's the genesis of the game. And then it's down to us to take the player on this journey and tell this story of how that could even be possible.
Hearing that, let's get into it. Let's get into the nitty gritty, the stuff that the hardcore.
So I'm thinking the live service element is endgame. I think a lot of folk, you know, many people are not necessarily used to live service games that have this structure. And this is one of the reasons I'm not talking about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League and the content and so on and so forth. Because the end game, that's why I haven't given my own impressions as to if you recommended the game, because end game in live service games is where it's at, but you don't know about end game until you actually play the game to the end. And so I think, and I'm seeing reports now come out saying, oh, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is going to have a lot more story than has ever been in any of the Arkham games. So I'm thinking they already built a story version, and the execs were like, no, you got to find a way to add live service elements to this game so that we can monetize it. And he doesn't own the DC, you know, franchise, and Rocksteady is already a Warner Brothers studio, because, you know, in order for them to be able to get funding, be able to pay and keep staff and keep team members, you know, he had to sign a tough deal. That's just the way. That's just the nature of the beast. Unless you want to have the studio by yourself, and then after work, you and everybody who's passionate comes together and start working for free and hope that one day you can share profits. But that's basically, you know, the reality, and the shots being called by somebody else. Okay. I hope you guys now have had your answer, or at least revisit the history, so that we don't pretend like, you know, another, you know, I would say critical information that is related to this does not exist. There is context. There is nuance in all of this stuff here. And you just have to take it as it comes. The DC IP is not yours. You're the fan, yes, but it doesn't belong to you. And that's just the tough reality. And so sometimes, you know, it is just what it is. You just go, you know, whatever it is that's out there, by either saying, I'll deal with this, or no, I don't want to deal with this. And I think Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is just one of those projects. So thanks for watching the video. Appreciate you guys' time and audience, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.